In a world obsessed with wealth, status, and success, it's easy to assume that a rich life is all about money. But Islam teaches a completely different reality, one where true richness has nothing to do with possessions and everything to do with the state of the heart. Today, we explore what it really means to live a rich life versus a poor life in Islam, and how true success and lasting happiness are defined by values that go far beyond this temporary world. In Islam, the difference between material wealth and spiritual richness is rooted in how each one shapes a person's inner state. Material wealth is limited to possessions, income, and comfort, but it does not automatically bring peace or purpose. It can make life easier, yet it often comes with constant worries, expectations, and the fear of loss. Spiritual richness, however, is a deep sense of fulfillment that comes from a heart connected to Allah. It grows through sincere worship, humility, gratitude, patience, and trust in His wisdom. A spiritually rich person may own little, yet feel secure because their hope and reliance rest on Allah, not on temporary resources. Islam teaches that true richness is measured by the stability of the heart, the clarity of one's values, and the strength of one's relationship with the Creator. This inner wealth remains steady, regardless of changing circumstances. The teachings of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ emphasize that real success is rooted in inner balance and moral excellence, rather than outward achievements. He guided people to understand that the heart finds stability when it submits to Allah with sincerity, honesty, and compassion. His words highlight that a person is truly successful when they guard their faith, maintain their dignity, and cultivate a character that benefits others. He encouraged moderation, reminding believers that chasing the world endlessly leads to exhaustion, while remembering Allah brings clarity and calmness. He also taught that success includes fulfilling responsibilities with integrity, valuing time, and treating people with kindness. In his life, he showed that humility strengthens a person more than pride ever could. Through his example, he demonstrated that success is not about accumulating praise or possessions, but about living in a way that earns the pleasure of Allah and brings lasting peace to the soul. In Islam, wealth becomes a blessing when it inspires responsibility and generosity. When a person uses their resources to support family, uplift the needy, and strengthen their community, their wealth turns into a source of ongoing reward. Such a person understands that their provisions are entrusted to them by Allah, and this awareness prevents arrogance. They view giving as an honor rather than a burden, and they protect their earnings from dishonesty or wastefulness. However, when wealth feeds pride, greed, and the desire for superiority, it shifts from blessing to test. It can cloud judgment, weaken compassion, and push a person toward forgetfulness of their purpose. The danger lies not in the wealth itself, but in the attachment that blinds the heart. Islam warns that when possessions dominate one's priorities, they distract from worship, fairness, and humility. The true challenge is to keep wealth in the hand, not in the heart. A poor believer who remembers Allah consistently carries a form of richness that cannot be measured by possessions. This richness appears in the calmness that settles in their heart when they rely on Allah during moments of difficulty. Even with limited means, they find strength in prayer, knowing that every hardship is an opportunity to draw closer to their Creator. Their trust is not based on what they own, but on their certainty that Allah sees their efforts and understands their needs. Such a person develops a resilience that wealth cannot guarantee. They remain steady because their hopes are not tied to changing circumstances. Gratitude becomes easier for them, as even small blessings feel significant. Their humility protects them from envy and negativity, and their sincerity deepens their relationship with Allah. This inner state gives them a type of richness that inspires contentment, purpose, and hope, qualities far greater than any material gain. The companions Razi Allah Ta'ala Anhum lived with a simplicity that reflected their deep devotion and clarity of purpose. Their lives were not defined by luxury or abundance, yet they possessed a sense of honor and dignity that came from prioritizing their faith above worldly comfort. They worked hard, shared whatever they had, and remained mindful of their responsibilities toward others. Their simplicity was not a sign of weakness. It was a conscious choice to keep their hearts focused on what truly mattered. They found joy in worship, sincerity in their relationships, and strength in their commitment to justice and compassion. Their homes were modest, but their character was elevated by their truthfulness, courage, and discipline. When challenges arose, they faced them with patience and unity, trusting that every struggle held divine wisdom. Their example shows that a meaningful life flows from purpose, not possessions, and that true honor is earned through steadfast faith and noble conduct. True happiness in Islam grows from qualities that shape the heart and guide everyday behavior. Obedience to Allah gives a person direction, allowing them to act with clarity rather than confusion. It encourages mindful choices, whether in worship, speech, or treatment of others. When a person lives with this sense of responsibility, their actions align with a higher purpose, and life feels more meaningful. Gratitude further enhances this state by shifting attention toward blessings instead of shortcomings. It trains the heart to appreciate what is present rather than chase what is missing. Good character strengthens this happiness by nurturing peaceful relationships. Speaking gently, avoiding harm, and showing mercy create an atmosphere of trust and comfort. Such behavior softens the heart and allows a person to experience joy even in simple moments. As these qualities mature, they form a stable foundation that keeps the heart satisfied regardless of external changes, bringing a deep and lasting sense of well-being. In Islam, the value of what is with Allah surpasses anything the world can offer because it is eternal and untouched by loss or decay. Worldly possessions, no matter how attractive, eventually fade, break, or change hands. They give brief satisfaction, but cannot provide lasting security. What is stored with Allah through sincere actions, good intentions, and patience becomes a permanent treasure that awaits a person in the hereafter. This perspective helps believers stay balanced, preventing them from becoming overwhelmed by temporary gains or setbacks. When a person realizes that every act done for Allah is preserved forever, their priorities shift naturally. Effort becomes more meaningful, worship becomes more heartfelt, and hardships become easier to endure. Worldly achievements may bring recognition, but they end when life ends. What is with Allah continues without limit. This understanding guides a believer to invest in actions that carry eternal benefit and true fulfillment. True richness in Islam is measured by faith, gratitude, and good character, not by wealth or status. At Interior Deen, we hope this reminder inspires you to seek inner peace and live a life pleasing to Allah. If this message touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to support our channel. We pray that Allah fills your life with contentment, barakah, and true success. Comment below, Ameen, if you join us in this prayer.